Today I'm going to make you a holiday dip. It's going to be a brie and cream cheese base, and it's going to have bacon in it, it's going to have Brussels sprouts, cran raisins, and we're going to bake it. This dip is actually inspired by a place that I used to go to all the time in my teenage years, and up until recently, honestly, it just closed, but it's a place called Hop Jacks, and they had this bacon brie dip, and it was the bomb. So I'm kind of inspired by that dip to make this one for the holidays for you all. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get started. Okay, so you're gonna need quite a few things for this dip. You are able to simplify it, absolutely, but I'm still doing the whole cooking with natural, no processed seasonings. However, there's no fresh rosemary anywhere, and my rosemary bush died, so I do have some, I do have some pre-dried rosemary that I got at the store and some ground white pepper. But other than that, everything is all natural. So this is what you're gonna need. We're gonna discard these veggies into a little bowl so that we can start our roux. A roux is butter and flour. You mix it together once the butter is melted, and it forms like this paste texture, and then that's what helps to create a creamy thickening agent for your cheese, for your macaroni and cheese, for any of your dips, for any type of like gravy that you're doing, anything like that. So a roux is definitely something that you want to put in your book of notes for cooking. I'm gonna add these cran raisins to the saute for just a quick minute, just to kind of like open it up and bring out the flavor a little bit more for the dip. So that. Ooh, it's looking so beautiful. To give you an idea of how it's looking. The great thing about this dip is you can dip vegetables in it, like carrots or celery, which I hate celery, so I don't even know why I said that. You can also put pita chips in it, you can do tortilla chips, you can put bread in it, you can mix pasta in it, throw rice in it. There's so many different ways. Chicken, you can put chicken in it, you can stuff it in chicken. There's so many different ways you can use this dip because it's got savory components, it's got sweet components, and it's got salty, rich, creamy components. It's just perfect. Pat on my back. Alright, so I think this is done sauteing. These are a good, nice, crisp golden brown. I'll show you the colors so you can have a reference. There you go. I'm gonna throw it in this dish. I don't have very strong wrists, don't make fun of me. I'm struggling, y'all. Now we're gonna start our roux. I'm gonna use about 1/3 of this stick for butter. And we're gonna melt this first. You want that bacon flavor in it. And we're actually going to throw the bacon on top and a few bits on the inside because we don't want it to get like soft and chewy. We want it to stay crispy on top. And we're not gonna use all this flour. I'm only gonna use probably about half of it, if even that. You can use cornstarch. Cornstarch is fine. It actually gives it less of a floury taste, but I'm using flour. Just if you're using cornstarch, use a little less cornstarch than you would flour because it thickens easier. All right, now we're gonna add the flour. The butter is pretty much melted. Actually, you know what? We're gonna brown this butter just so that we can give it more flavor, more natural flavor without having to add processed seasonings. So we're gonna let this butter brown for just a minute and then we're gonna add the flour. Browning butter, you pretty much just let it melt. You should probably turn the heat back on. Let it totally melt and then bring the heat to like a medium high until you start to see like these brown grains kind of drop to the bottom, and that's where the brown butter starts to form its flavor. You don't want it to get super dark because then it gets bitter and it gets gross and it's not useful anymore. So just until you start to see those brown bits drop to the bottom and your butter gets pretty brown. So yeah. All right, now we're gonna add the flour. You see how it's formed a little bit of a paste consistency? That's when you're ready to add your liquids. And we don't want the paste to be too thick because if it's too thick, then the dip is gonna be too thick. We want it to be kind of creamy. Okay, so the liquids we're adding. First, we're gonna add a little cream and milk and a little stock. Now it should be fairly creamy rather than pasty, and that's how you get a nice creamy sauce. It can go in soups, gravies, macaroni and cheese, pastas, like Alfredo, anything like that. This is what you're gonna need a roux for. We're about to throw in our cheese and let that kind of start to melt down. And this roux is what's gonna help this cheese not be so stringy. Now it's nice and creamy. It's exactly what you want. First, I'm gonna add the cream cheese. I think I'm gonna start off with 2/3. Let's do 2/3. I love dips. Any type of dip. Alright, the brie dip is melting down really well. Now we're gonna add our sharp cheddar. I'll show you how it's looking so far. Wish I could show you how it's tasting because it is good.